Today we're going to talk about a story of hope, but also of incredible pain and a weight that just seems to have no end. It's all captured in the story of one young man. 670. Just let that number sink in for a second. That's how many days, we're talking nearly 2 full years, have passed since Bipin Joshi, a young Nepali student, just disappeared, swallowed up by the fog of war. And for his family, half a world away, every single one of those days has been a silent, agonizing wait. And right at the heart of this story is this incredibly powerful and just heartbreaking declaration from his mother, Padma. It really tells you everything you need to know about a mother's love and about a kind of resolve that just refuses to be broken, no matter how uncertain things get. So to really get a sense of the weight of those 670 days, we first need to understand the person at the center of it all. Who is Bipin Joshi? Well, Bipin Joshi is from a small village in Nepal, from a simple farming family. And he had a dream. He wasn't just another face in the crowd. He traveled all the way to Israel for a special Learn and Earn program. The whole idea was to learn modern farming skills, save some money, and go back home to build a better future for his family. He had a plan. And his dream was actually taking shape day by day, out there in the fields of Israel. But then came a day when everything, and I mean everything, changed. A day the sky itself just seemed to break apart. The contrast here is just staggering. Back in Nepal, Bipin's family was getting ready for Dashain, one of their biggest, most joyous festivals. It's all about celebration. And at that exact same time, his world in Israel was being shattered by rockets and gunfire. Peace and celebration on one side of the planet, unimaginable violence on the other. It all happened with terrifying speed. That morning, he's sending photos from the cornfields, full of hope. Just minutes later, Hamas militants stormed the kibbutz. In the horrifying chaos that followed, 10 of his fellow Nepali students were killed. 10. Another 6 were badly wounded, and Bipin, who was also wounded but still alive, was captured and taken away into Gaza. And just like that, for the rest of the world, his voice went silent. For his family back home, that silence was followed by this storm of confusion and grief, and then a sudden, completely unexpected flicker of hope in all that darkness. The first reports they got were just devastating. The family was basically told to assume the worst, that Bipin was likely among the 10 who had been killed. I mean, can you imagine the finality of that news? But then, everything changed. A video was released, and it showed a young man, clearly in distress, a bandage on his head. Last scene, hoping to find some kind of answer that you just can't get over the phone. And this quote from his mother, when she arrived, just shows her unbelievable strength. She's basically saying she's prepared for the worst possible news, but she will not go home empty-handed. She is there to bring her son home, one way or another. When they got to Israel, they were met by officials who showed them the same old reports, the same initial recordings. But you can't soothe almost 2 years of a mother's pain with statistics and old files. It just doesn't work. Their grief was just too deep, too personal for that kind of detached response. Which brings us to this final part of the story. And it's maybe the most important part. This ongoing battle. A battle not just for Bipin, but for the very idea of hope itself. His sister, Pushpa, really makes the abstract horror of it all painfully real. The family isn't just waiting. They're haunted by these constant, terrifying questions. They wonder if he's being fed. They wonder if his wounds have healed. These are the kinds of details that torment a family.
And when you step back, Bipin's story is a stark reminder of the profound risks so many migrant workers face. These are people who pour all their dreams and their futures into a distant land, only to sometimes get caught in the middle of conflicts that have absolutely nothing to do with them.
So we end with the same words we started with, from Bipin's mother. Because after 670 days, her eyes might be filled with tears, but her resolve has not been washed away. That is the hope that keeps her and her entire family going.
And the question this story really leaves us with is a pretty simple one. If this were your son, or your brother, or your friend, could you stay silent? Could you let it go? Bipin's story isn't just his family's fight anymore. It's a fight to keep hope alive.